see that that chaos is reigning supreme in the chat right now. Hello, everybody. There we go. Hello, Pom Pom. Hello, Lawful. Hello, Dorn. Oh, sorry, that's right, Coach. Iruan. Lala. Hello, everybody. I'm not as set up as I could be, but we are still here. Well, that's a good start, I think. You know, take the victories where we can get them. Congratulations, Lawful, for getting first. I think Pom Pom got second, if I saw that correctly. And Falala came in, sneaking the third. Absolute champion. Hey, Jam Jam. No problem. Enjoy your video games. I hope that you're having a great Saturday so far. A great size Saturday. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, frickin' subtitles. Supposed to stream in 2 hours, but you're not remotely prepared either. I feel that, Erwan. I tried to prep today and was just all over the place and was just like, huh, I have 15 minutes. That's going to be fun. Crying tears of happiness right now. I can believe it. And if you strain your ear very carefully, every teardrop that hits a surface gently whispers, listen. Yeah, exactly, Jam Jam. You get it. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And also, I don't know how to say that last part. You chose violence this early? I've chosen no violence. I've chosen humor. It's different. You know what? Yeah? That's all you got? Is that all you have? Ah! Also, speaking of which, Lawful, thank you so much for reminding me of Psychosis. I haven't read that story in years. Like, it pops into my head every now and then, but I never know what to look for. Like, I'll just get little snippets of it. A stinky note we can do. I'll always get little snippets of it in my brain. Be like, how does that come from again? What is that general idea? And then I'll never find it. Because I'll never know what to look up. You know? Guy being paranoid story. That's a great search. And also, normally I think about it when I don't have the capability to actually do any research, so that I'm just sitting there like, I'll remember, and then 2 minutes later it's gone forever. Ah, the joy of an ADHD brain. Also, how's everybody doing? How's your weekends going so far? Is everybody excited for Monday? When the big spooky. This is big spooky time. I had hoped that I could have done more spooky streams this month, but work doesn't really allow that, unfortunately. So, I've managed to do what I could. I had to take a couple of days off, unfortunately, this month, which is a little bit saddening for me, but, you know. Sometimes you just can't do it, and that's okay. That's why I have post-its everywhere. Write everything down. Erwan, that implies that I have the reminder to myself to write things down. Although, actually, today was the first day in, like, months that I've actually written down a dream. Because I have a book next to my, next to my bed with a pencil kind of, like, slid into, like, the little, what do you call it, the little metal spool on the side so that I don't lose it. And just every time I wake up from a dream, it's normally, I'll have to get up, you know, it's like 5 minutes before this thing or that thing has to get done, so I'll never write it down. And finally today I woke up and was just like, you know what, let's write this one down. I'm doing an amazing job. It'd probably be better if I could actually get all the streams that I wanted in. Like, I've had to reduce all my streams by an hour because I'm always so tired, which is crappy, but I mean, I'll forget to read them, so yeah, there you go, Erwin. We have basically the exact same, we have opposite problems, but it leads to the same conclusion. How's it going, Kaju? Hello. The frickin' shaky borb. I've been smacked by a pillow for speaking the truth. I will not be silenced. I will be heard, damn it. Ah! Now, unfortunately, we'll probably be only able to get, through like 2 or 3 stories because everything that you guys submitted is super long, and I'm not good at reading, like, super long stories because of my ADHD. Like, I can read longer stories in my head, you know, like I can sit with a book and read it for a couple of hours, but like reading it out loud, after like 20 minutes, my brain's just like, you're bored. And I'm like, I'm not bored. The story's good. And it's just like, no, you're bored. We need different stimuli. And it's like, the story is the stimuli. And it's just like, let's go get up and grabs ourselves some candy. And it's like, is this really happening right now? And before I know it, I'm already standing and going, no. Hope the stream has started well. I mean, we're 13 minutes in. I think so far it's been going relatively well, despite the fact that it's just been a just chatting stream for the most part. No, it's... Yeah, you need brown noise, like a stream or a show, just to force me to focus on reading or playing. I mean, I can't say nothing about that either, because I have a bad tendency to play games that are, like, light focus. You know, like RimWorld, where, like, you can absolutely have a YouTube video on the side that you don't care about playing while you're doing that. I mean, you're not wrong, Erwin. You're not wrong. Do we need to wait on the first page for an hour like the door? No, Dorn. We're just having like a little like 15-minute chat to start with before we get going. As I try to conjure up the energy to stay focused. It's been a very strange day today. One of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is fucked and everybody sucks. Sorry, it had to be done. I'm sorry. Wilted a curse. Yeah, I know. It's weird. The older I get, the more Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit makes sense to me. You know what I mean? You just all of a sudden, you wake up and you're miserable and you're just like, there are just days that you don't want to wake up. And I'm just like, man, those lyrics speak to me. Everybody may, but you don't suck. Oh, thanks, Pom Pom. That's very nice of you. Last night you were streaming and kept closing your eyes and just dozing while playing Wrath of the Lich King Classic. You are single-handedly tempting me to play that game, frickin' Erwan, and it's very mean, and I think you should stop. I'm holding you personally responsible for this. You're telling Dorn, you can't do that. Mom is a very, like, you know, like, punishment for all individual. If you tattle, you're gonna be in the same corner as I am, and we both just have to sit there quietly being mad at each other. Mom knows how to play us against each other, Dorn. Don't give in. Shame on you, Erwan. Shame on you. Also, you probably won't even play Wrath of the Lich King Classic for that long. We literally heard the biscuit music and went, dang, that cuts deep. Yeah, you know, I'm 14 and this is deep, or whatever the heck that stupid meme is. Or I'm 12 and what is this? Not when Dragonflight launches. No, yeah! Heck that game for actually having something potentially interesting. Shame on them. Shame. Lips on biscuits. Gross. Gross. Jam, jam. Shame. Shame. Gross. But funny. Well played. But also shame. Oh my goodness. Hold on, let me figure out which story we're starting with. Ooh, that's right. It's technically 4 stories if I want to do the monkey's paw, but that's not somebody else's choice. That's just something that's been in my head. Maybe I'll just leave the monkey's paw for like a YouTube video. You know, like I'll just read it on my own for people if they wanna hear it. I think that might be the better option. Yeah, we'll do that. Heck you, monkey's paw. Excuse me. The yawning, it does not stop. YouTube shout out? Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It has stuff in it sometimes. I've been trying to post all of the stories there that I've been reading. Which starts getting kind of interesting, because, like, one of the stories that we're reading today is Stephen King's Boogeyman, and I don't know if that's something that I'm allowed to post or even read, but I want to read it because it's good. There's some questionable words in it because it's from a different era, but still. And listening to the Money Way. Oh, thank you, Jam. Pom Pom. God dang it, it's the double word thing. It's messing with me. Thank you, Pom Pom. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, it's been weird. They've actually been getting a little bit of attention. That's not important for a chat. I'm sorry. Brain's been on that a little bit recently, but also thank you, Bells, for posting that. You think the Boogeyman comes from from Boogie Wonderland? I don't know. I just know the Dankmas remake of Boogeyman from The Simpsons, where he took the Boogeyman episode, which is, I believe, the episode where Marge gets a gambling addiction. And from the Pokemon episode, pardon? From the Boogeyman episode, where Marge gets a gambling addiction, and then Homer has to take care of the kids, and he believes that there's a boogeyman.
Here comes the boy.
Thanks, Kaju.
Hello Will EKU am using my Twitch Prime in hopes that others will also use their Twitch Prime towards you. PS I love you.
Ugh. Why'd you make it weird at the end? Ugh. Ugh. My kudere senses are just up in arms right now, just going, that's nice, I suppose. Or, like, quit being lame. So, yeah, 9 months. That's a long time. Ew, stream baby. Blah. Blah. Gross. Now I can't remember what the heck I was even talking about. Oh, yeah! Dankmus's remake of Boogeyman, which is very good, and everybody should listen to it. Hold on, I'm gonna go find it really quickly and post it, because it's wonderful. I just hope that I don't click on it and immediately starts playing. Don't you do it. Okay. There you go, if anybody's interested. I hope that's the right video. It is. The Boogeyman. Such a good tune. I want to play it, but I need my Chrome frickin' music for the ambience. So I can't. And I wanna. Because it's such a good tune. The first time that I found that song, I listened to it for hours that day. It's Frozen Scarecrow. You need to join us on Sky. No! Sky's dumb. And how's it going, Frozen Scarecrow? How's your weekend been? And hello, Glitch. How are you? Good news, Scarecrow. We're actually going to read your story first. Because I just finished reading it earlier today and was just like, oh, I'm actually kind of digging the heck out of this, so. Guy is amazing. I eat kids and spread. Well, that's not very nice. That's not very nice at all. And also, that's fair, Pom Pom. I acknowledge that. I actually like Sky. I just never get a chance to. I just don't get a chance to play it very often, so. You know. Say Livy. Go back and let me know the local game store. Had some empanada pizza, which was I don't know what that is. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. Okay, gotcha. You need to go back to your nap now. Thank you, Jam Jam. I appreciate your kind words. Empanada. Or empanada? Empanada? Empanada is just empathetic. But like, Jam Jam, we're all just... Wait, is that even the correct word that I'm thinking of? Hold on. Really understand. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that's just Canadians for the most part. We're just empathetic people. Or it's just like, oh, sorry. Sorry, eh? Oh, goodness. Oh, I didn't mean to do that to you. Oh, my. Can't believe I didn't open the door for you there. Oh, let me get that door for you. I don't know why I'm doing this. Hold on, I'm missing some messages here. Mexican dish, I believe. It's fried. It's a fried stuffed pastry. Wait, a fried stuffed pastry. Okay, so that's not quite like dumplings then. but similar? Question mark? Is it kind of like a pierogi? Maybe? I'm not very cultured. Like a samosa. Yeah, but I don't know what a samosa is either. Samosa. That just makes me think of like, what the heck do you call that? Like a spring roll? Kinda, sorta? I think that's the term that I'm thinking of. I don't know a lot of food. Savory, but your uncle and his wife sell peach back in the Philippines. And those boys are so tasty. Each one sound brilliant. Ooh. Sausage rolls. I'm sure I've had sausage rolls before. What is food? Except for something that we humans need to tolerate in order to survive. When are we gonna come up with the frickin', you know, just the little pill at the beginning of the day that you can gulp down that has all the nutrients that you need, so you don't have to bother with the time-consuming process of eating. So good, Heike, recommend baking them? Oh goodness, there are like 3 different conversations happening in chat right now. Why would you do this to my poor ADHD rattled brain? As my voice cracks. Sure. I don't cut you. Did I ever have one? I don't think so. A lot of people in our friend group were just like, love these, and I'm just sitting there like, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my my random sandwich or my wrap. Things that are simple and are and are familiar to me and seem really hefty for their price, you know? Like where you get just like a frickin' wrap where it's like 80% of it is just like noodles. And you're just like, yeah, I'm sure this is worth its weight. Lawful, is that a threat? Do we need to take you out for lunch? Like, is that like a cement shoes and send me to the bottom of the river kind of thing? What's noodles in a wrap? You have no idea what you're saying right now, Frozen Scarecrow. It's basically you make a stir fry with noodles and then you wrap it into a tortilla and it's wonderful. It's not a threat, it's a promise, huh? Literally don't, that's why I asked. Alright, you know what? Well played. Well played, Frozen Scarecrow. At the same time that I inevitably get Chipotle for Kaju, I will also send a bunch. Aw, thanks, Jam Jam. I appreciate that. I've also never had Chipotle. I have not had a lot of I haven't had a lot of stuff, honestly. Like, I'm totally willing to try things, but I don't go, like, out of my way to try things, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody brings me something new, it's just like, alright, let's see what this is. But I'm not gonna, like, walk past, like, a restaurant and be like, oh, I've never had that before. Darn! Why? What have I done to deserve this strike. Specifically salt. Wait. Is this because I'm Dutch? Dorn, you have to be honest with me. Are you dropping salt on me because I'm Dutch? Because, like, I get it. It makes sense. I love salt. I do. I've told this story in chat before, I'm pretty sure, but I'll make a very quick version of it. But once when I was working at a place that I had a tendency to always salt the fries for my meal, like I was a dishwasher at a place. I always salted my fries a little bit extra because I liked the salt. And so on my last day, one of the cooks was just like, I'll make your meal for you. Don't worry about it. So they like hyper salted the fries. Like they took them right out of the fryer and just, how to say, like, so they like just dumped seasoning into the bowl so that they were coated in seasoning salt. And I just remember going to the back and being just like, I'll eat them. Like, I have some ketchup, you know, I can handle this. So I took a bite and was like, whew. And everyone else was just like, oh, I guess they're not that bad. And then each one of the people that was there took a bite and all of them had to leave the back room to go get a glass of water. Hypersalt is the new vape wave? What the heck would hypersalt even sound like? Would it be like crunchy? Would it be like dubstep, but like with like a crunch filter on it? Like that would be... Oh, what a strange sound that's playing in my brain right now to imagine that. Vlog the date with Will. Did we get a breakup? Excuse me? Pardon? Did I miss a message somewhere? Alright, New Year's resolution, Will. Try a new food once a month. No. 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 I'm too busy. Something is so salty that it crunches, you need to have an ambulance on standby for eat it. I ate a plate full of fries that were literally coated with seasoning salt. Like, just imagine like a standard plate from a restaurant and like half of it was covered in salt. Darn, I'm almost ready, okay? I promise we'll get to this story. I promise. Imagine your arteries are rock solid. I'm imagining... Yeah, exactly. So they can't be hurt. I can't die from a fatal artery wound because any puncturing or blunt instrument that tries to hit it will just simply ricochet off. Will simply craves the mineral. Exactly. I am a salt-based being. So I need to, you know, I just need to do, I need to make sure that I'm taking in enough. A creature of sodium, exactly. Hey Stitches, yes it is. We're going to be starting a story very soon. There's just a lot of shenanigans happening in chat right now. That I feel like I need to address. One may call you a salt bae. Hmm? What? You're not gonna call me salty? Because I think I could technically be classified as salty. And like both like the, how to say it, the description. Okay, thank you. And then lurks. No problem, Stitches. I hope you have a good lurk. Yes, I know who Salt Bae is, lawful. I'm just saying, I think a more apt description would be to call me salty. puts his salt on everything. Well, I put salt on everything. I don't know if it's mine per se. I don't think I put salt in everything. Pondering the meals that I normally eat. Jam Jam, I don't trust that statement. So I'm gonna tentatively say no. But I'm willing to get smack-a-doodled by some kind of these nuts. I'm just happy you don't put mayo on everything. There's only a few things that I eat with mayo, and it's normally like North European, like fast food. Like frikandellen, which are, seriously. I don't know if you can get access to these, but at a Dutch store, they're freaking called frikandellen. They are basically like spiced hot dogs, kind of, sort of, but not really. And you take the way that I freaking eat them is you take them. They're like 10 inches long or something. I don't know. They're relatively long hot dog-esque things. And you put them in the deep fryer. You do it as long as you need to. Then you take it out, slice it down the middle so that it like kind of opens up like a hot dog bun. Then put a little bit of mayo and then a little bit of ketchup on it. And then you just fold it back up again so that they mix. And delicious. Delicious. No, just figured that you would put salt on everything. Then Old Bay, maybe a spice that you might enjoy. Ah. I don't actually put salt on everything, but I am somebody who enjoys, like, saltier foods. Just sit here and eat an entire jar. I could sit here and eat. Bleh, I hate pickles, personally. I don't like the taste of pickles. But I think there's quite a bit of, I think there's quite a few people in here that would disagree with me on that. Salted fried jalapenos? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of spicy food, so for me, that doesn't sound like a no. Doesn't sound like a go. That sounds really good. It is really good. The other one that I eat on its own is croqueta, which is like a breaded, fried. I don't know how to describe it. It's like full of like mashed potatoes and like meat, but it can have other things in it. And then it's like fried, so the outside is like crunchy and the inside is really soft. It's delicious just on its own. Most Dutch people will put mustard on it because that's just a thing that they like doing for some reason. But they don't. I don't personally. I like them just solo. Real question. Do you use... I'm not sure what that is. Aju? I don't think I've ever... I don't think I've ever had that before, and if I have, I don't remember. Now I'm gonna have to Google it. 1 second. If I miss some messages, I apologize. I may have... I have not done it. Is the undisputed king of mayonnaise. Ha! Interesting. I guess I'll have to try it at some point. What you want to treat me to food? Yeah, croquettes are freaking delicious. Salt. Diet. Whole jar of pickles. Could be a whole jar of olives instead. I don't know if I like olives or not. I've like never really had them before. Yeah, it's Japanese mayo, according to the thing too that I was looking at. I'm sure that it's fine. I've never had it before, so I can't make any judgment on it, unfortunately. Mom used to make them, but I know she adds her spin to it. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think it's cool if people can put their own little spins on meals. You know what I mean? Like, to put your own little, like, how to say, like a fingerprint on it, I suppose. Your own little mark on a dish, you know, like I learned how to make stumplet from my mom, but like I'll always put how to say, like I'll always put a lot more onions in than she does because I like the onions in there. And I put a little bit less margarine in than she does, but I put a little bit more sugar in just to add like a little bit of a change because that's the kind of flavor that I like. So, you know, that's like the, I don't know, like that's the Will approval kind of way of doing it. And Ling, hello, how's it going? Japanese mayo is the stuff they use for electric. I don't know what that means. Frickin' roomy boys. With cheese and onions. Hey, if it works at the end of the day, like, make what you like, right? I have rolled ice cream, but it's so cold that it's like I'm stabbing a spoon against an ice cube. Like, no. Because Mayo and Will are synonymous at this point. Is it because I'm pale? Is that what this is? Like spicy mayo that gives you, that they give you at sushi places. Easy to make, just add sriracha sauce to regular mayo. There is, in the Netherlands, at least from where I'm from, if you, how to say, if you ask for ketchup in a lot of places from where I'm from, they will not give you ketchup per se. They will give you like a curry sauce, which is like kind of like ketchup, but it's like spicy. And I personally don't really like it that much, especially when you're not ready for it. When you presume you're going to get that, like, you know, like ketchup, and it just hits you with not that, you're just like, oh, what is that? Oh, goodness. Sriracha mayo with charred salmon is delicious. I wouldn't know, but I will try to keep that in mind. Ling, thank you. I wanted to call you the king of mayo. Calling Will that would leave too much of a bad connotation. All I know is Will has good recipes. I have some, like a tiny amount of recipes, and I only have them because my mom is a good cook and has taught me how to cook a little bit. So I just have like little things where I'm just like, oh, I would probably do it this way. And then I did. And then I was just like, oh, I like that. Like even like the gravy that I make slightly different from the way that my mom makes it, just because like I've kind of figured out like, yeah, this is roughly how I want it. You know, like, what is it? I remember once reading somewhere or watching something from somewhere that's just like a good cook should be partly full by the time they are done cooking because you're taste testing. And at least that's what I do with when I make gravy. Like I'll have like a little, like I guess like a little gravy spoon, I suppose, that like I'll, you know, like once it's kind of starts bubbling and it's like, all right, that's roughly what I want. I'll take a little bit of a taste and it's just like, needs a little bit more of this. I'll wash the spoon really quick, play around with some things a little bit. And it's like, a little bit too strong. We'll add a bit more water, wash the spoon a little bit. You know, like just play this odd little game of just like, where's the sweet spot that you want it at. There's a country named Mayo, and a person was from there. Would they be... are they mayonnaise? And if they make mayonnaise, would that be mayonnaise? Darn, that got so complicated so quickly. It's like, wait a minute, you know, like, insert the gif of, like, any of the peeps that do the, like, stare while, like, math is, like, going past their face. It's just like, okay, well, you gotta carry the one now. All my recipes were... Yeah, all my recipes are variants of Grandma's USSR dishes, but they are only in there. They're only in our head. It was... could... There's never or could be something written in measurements. I see. I definitely feel that, Erwin. Even for me, it's kind of like... Alright, so I need about this much. And it's like, how much was that? Oh, the right amount. For the right response was even absolutely fine, Stitches. Totally fine. Ugh, sorry. Doing the weird little space out thing where the ADHD is just like, which one you're trying to read? And it's like... Exactly, Ling. You're just like, how many potatoes do you need to make this? You know, you put a couple in a pot and you're just like, that many. And it's just like, well, why that many? Because that's the right amount. It's like, well, how many carrots do you need? Put some carrots into a pot. That many. Why? Because that's the right amount. Had to taste but they're potatoes. Yeah, that's why you make nice gravy. So that when you finally have the potatoes, carrots, and the onions all nicely boiled, then you mash them up, and then, you know, with that nice mash, you add a little bit of sugar onto it and some margarine to add a little bit of that nice saltiness, like a nice salty sweet flavor to it. Mix it all together into a nice mush, and then you take a taste test, and you're like, bam, that's what we're talking about. And then afterwards, you take some of your meatballs, and you take some of the gravy, and you mix it in, and so good. It's been a while since I made some good stumput, so I'm a little bit sad. Yep, just eyeball it because you just know. Exactly. And then people are like, can I get the recipe? And it's like, yeah. You need, hang on a second. I'll write down roughly the numbers that I use. I was told just keep stirring. You have melted the potatoes. Pounds table story. Oh yeah, right, story. That thing that I'm supposed to do. Whoops. That's my bad. Wait a second. Dorn, are you there at the moment? So we had an extra potato-y clam chowder, and my teacher was extremely amused. Hey, all right, just want to make sure, because we might just start with your story, so that we have, you know, like a nice transitional palate cleanser between the just chat and the story. I do love it when we have the, how to say, like, when we just bring up a random topic that just gets everybody excited to talk about it. Sometime you need to title your stream, Will he go through the door, story edition. I get it. I talk a lot. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But fine. Fine. You guys want story? We'll get you some story. I get it. You guys come here for story. You expect a story. We're about to do some story. So, Dorn actually wrote his own story, which I was not allowed to read. Hey, Blue! Before stream. So I have no idea what I'm about to read. So, spooky. Oh, we can do that before we start. Where is spooky? There it is. There. Oh, come in. There we go. Wait, what am I missing here? Right, rolled ice cream is hope. I have no idea how to read that. Something milk. It just randomly throws some tiny bit of cheesecake to go with it. Ooh. Story time! Story time! It's true, it's time for stories. Chatting to viewers is the best part, IMO. Erwin, you're not wrong. Even with the chaos that sometimes ensues. Because you'll be talking to yourself regardless. Exactly, but then you finally have someone to bounce off of. So, Dorn, is there a title to this? Or should I read the title as what the document is called? Just so I'm clear. And if so, what kind of tone should I be reading this in? Like, I'm kind of being a method actor right now. I need like, am I going for a more relaxed? Am I going for a, this is super creepy, ooh. What are we going for? Joyous at first, oh dear. So I have to switch to the grim. All right, we can do that. We can try to do that. All right, so. You have to go mid. What is mid? I'm so confused, Lawful. What is mid? Like, are you playing League of Legends right now? Are you just like, guys, I gotta go mid right now. I gotta frickin'... No, I'm sticking to my guns. As far as I'm concerned, Lawful's just like, guys, I gotta go mid. You know, like everybody else here is just casually chatting amongst themselves. And like, Lawful's the only one that realizes that the MOBA has, you know, like the MOBA match has started and we gotta get going. It's like, guys, I'm going mid. You know, you guys keep talking, I guess, but I'm gonna go out there and win this game. Jungle be danged, I'm gonna do this. Try to make one joke and it's just pillows. Just pillows. But fine, you're missing out on stories though. Alright. The door sleeps the door. I'm trying, Pom Pom. I have pillows being thrown at me. Alright. So. Everybody get cozy and get comfortable because we got story time. This is Benjamin's Vacation, written by the Coach Dorn. Every once in a while, a toast needs a vacation. It helps soften the dough and relax the crusts. Benjamin needed it. A reason to escape, if even for a little while. So he planned a trip on a cruise line. Maybe this salty open air would be exactly what his crouton needed. With bags packed and shades on, Benjamin set sail, his best friend Will in a separate room. Not caring where to go or what to do, he finally had time to bake on his own. He swam, danced, talked to beautiful desserts under the moon until the moon showed brightly. Upon his return to his room, he noticed a crack in the door of Will's room. Slowly opening it to see if Will was okay, Benjamin noticed the light was flickering dimly, and the room was all cluttered. A small, dark red trail led to the balcony. This can't be happening, Benjamin said to himself, his disbelief abundantly clear in his now pale, white breaded face. Will. When a bustle could be heard from the bathroom, and the sound of a flush, Will came walking out. Benjamin, with a tear in his eye, proclaimed, "Will, you're okay." "I'm okay, little buddy. There was a seagull that wanted the jelly that I brought as a snack. It got away, and I made a mess fighting it off." Benjamin let out a sigh of relief. Will exclaimed, "Benjamin, I'm kind of hungry from this fiasco. Let's go grab some dinner and clean up later." They both traveled to the dining hall. Large wooden doors and chandeliers aplenty. Certainly the classiest vacation Benjamin had ever had. When they both sat down at the table, the light grew dim and people shut the dining hall doors. Sorry, burp. There we go. "You know, Benjamin, this vacation has been perfect so far, but it's been missing something." Benjamin nervously chuckled and asked Will, what would that be?" Will's neck began to crack in strange ways. His fingers grew longer and more pointed. The teeth in his jaw became jagged and rotten. Will's eyes began to glow a faint green. Every vacation deserves a toast." That was Benjamin's Vacation by Coach Dorn. That was fun. I like that. Well done, Dorn. Applause. Well done. Well done. Very fun. Very enjoyable. Also, Yakitori, hello. Sorry, I was in the middle of reading a story. That's my bad. Hello, how are you? This. It wasn't a seagull. The real Will went for a swim. Yay. I like that. It had a nice flow to it. It was short, nicely to the point. I could appreciate it. Wait, that was an original story? Would have written you something if I knew. Well, Erwan, technically it was just, you could just submit any story that you wanted. Like, it wasn't a seagull, it was a... Bells, ban him. Ban Frozen Scarecrow. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. But yeah, like, people could request like short stories that they wanted me to read, etc. But Dorn was like, "I'm a write one," and I'm like, "That's totally fine. I'm willing to read stuff." Just the condition was that I wasn't allowed to read it beforehand. So I didn't. And now I got to experience it for the first time with you guys. And it was very fun. Actually did it. Absolute mad lad Bells just comes in here going, "Oh, you were joking? I don't take jokes." Boom, banhammer. I hope you guys enjoyed that story. I think it was very fun. I am going to take a really quick break, though, just to loosen up a little bit, because I'm starting to feel the little foggy-headedness. So I just need to get up for 5 to 10 minutes, just move around a little bit, get my energies back up, and then we will be reading Stephen King's The Boogeyman. It's a long story, so we're hopefully going to get through it in one go. I'm going to try my best. Blame my mod? I'm not blaming my mod. I'm just surprised that they did it, you know? Yeah, you have to take jokes if you are a joke. Wow! Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Mean. And also thank you for the hydrate. Very much appreciated. So, we're going to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break, if you can and are able to. I hope that you get up and stretch, grab yourself something to eat, grab yourself something to drink, make sure that you're taking care of yourselves. I will be back in a few minutes. I will hopefully see you guys very soon for hopefully 2 more stories. We'll see how much energy I have left after the Boogeyman. I hope I can get through both of them. But regardless, I will see you guys in a few minutes. Ta-ta for now. Hello, everyone. We're back. Ooh. What did I all miss? Let's see. Bit sleep day. Nap for 15 minutes. Also, thank you very much for all the welcome back. Sorry, just doing a quick scan over the chat to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Where did Will go? I'm sorry, Stitches. I needed to go get some water and move around, otherwise I wouldn't be conscious enough to be entertaining. Thank you, Bells. Thank you, Stitches. Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Edu. Thank you, Pom Pom. Always appreciate that. That thing has a... Goodness. Sorry, I am still quite dazed, but I should be okay to be able to read a story. So, miss me AFKing for me. Thank you, Erwan. That's very nice of you to share. No, we must tell the tale. All right, actually, how about this? We'll let you guys decide what we read first. Hold on, let's make a poll. What are we reading? Sure I actually spell it right. Psychosis or there we go. Erwin, that's not very nice. I can't believe you've done this to us. Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this. But yeah, make your voices heard. Would you prefer The Boogeyman by Stephen King? Or would you prefer Psychosis by... Matt Dymersky? I don't even know if I said that correctly. I hope I did. It's a Haya. Hello, Haya. Or Haya. Ah, I screwed it up. Ah, not worthy of being a good rival. Big sad. Oh, really? The Boogeyman is going to be our choice. All right. How's it going, by the way, Haya? Got here just as we were about to start reading another story. So hopefully you enjoy. I'm not going to be linking this because it's an older story, so it has some questionable words in it from time to time, which I will just simply be changing as I read them. You're not a cheater, Erwin. I consider turning that off, but I'm like, I think it makes sense to... I think it makes sense to do it that way. But yeah, so I won't be linking it because it drops some, what's the stupid internet name for it? Gamer words. I think it only drops it twice. Oh, it also uses one other word, but I think that one's kind of, it's not as bad, but it's still a little questionable, so... Yeah, I'll be trying to change them to the best of my abilities. To make sure that we can still read this, but it's not... Me getting banned off Twitch. What do you mean? I was just reading a story. I was just reading a story. Says frickin' every, like, concerning person. I found a bunch of public domain that were a different time. All I have to say is The Rats in the Walls by H.P. Lovecraft. That's all I need to say. And I'm sure, I think it was actually Kaju that said the other day, just like, what's the name of his cat? And everyone's like, oh no. If it wasn't you, Kaju, I apologize, but some reason in my brain it's just like, no, it would make sense for him to say something like that. Still, we'll try to take this at a pretty decent pace, to the best of my abilities. But there will be some fumbling as per usual, just... Ooh, and some voice breaks, apparently. Could be cracking up all over the place. Ugh. He doesn't have a cat. For the particular story... Anyway, do you feel that it's in the right context that using it would still be considered okay? I don't think so. It'd be the same... I don't know. For me personally, I just don't use language like that. Like, in any context. Like, listening to, like, rap music, for instance, there's gonna be a lot of, pauses for certain parts. In, like, literature, like, if I'm reading it, you know, quietly to myself, I mean, like, the words there, so it's gonna get read mentally, but it's definitely not something I will ever be saying externally. It's not a very nice word, though, is it, Zeruan? But at the same time, can I really get mad at you? Oh my goodness. Stop it! Stop it right now! No. Not gonna make any risking it for the biscuit, so to speak. It's like, but it's authentic, and it's just like, I'm not saying the darn words. I suppose that's not unreasonable, Kaju. Especially, again, it's that whole context matters things, right? It's just like, when was this book written? Oh, you know, during the height of racism. That makes sense. Is my microphone picking that up? Holy heck. Give me 1 second, guys. Apologies. Need to go to BRB screen because I need to know what the heck is happening there. I'll be back in like 1 minute. Sorry, 'twould seem that some frickin', tiny-dicked boys are sitting in the parking lot across the street just showing how loud their frickin' vehicles are. It's really emphasizing those, their lack of, and what is it, endowment? Is that the word that I'm thinking of? Yeah, I don't think the microphone picked it up, but it's loud. I've got a closed door and I can hear it clear as day. It's like, yeah, good lord. Yeah. There we go. Alright, well, regardless. Sounds like they've stopped. So, I mean, regardless, it's probably not going to affect you guys in any way. It only affects me and my freaking easily distractible brain. What did you just realize, Glitch? There we go. Big fan of used it once. It wasn't used to be comfortable. Oh, congratulations. Good on ya. That's quite the milestone. Congratulations. Sorry, my brain's all over the place right now. Oh, they're not done yet. Fantastic. Oh no, that's them leaving. Alright, good. They're actually leaving. But we will be reading, by popular vote, in this case, Stephen King's The Boogeyman. Everybody sit back and enjoy. Oh god, I actually need a voice for this guy. What kind of a voice do we need this guy? Yeah, I'll develop it as we go. Skeletor? Yeah! I came to you because I want to tell my story. Yeah! No, that would ruin so much of the mood. Well, I'll develop it as I go along. We'll figure it out. Through context, you guys will know who's talking, so. I came to you because I wanted to tell my story. The man on Dr. Harper's couch was saying. The man was Lester Billings from Waterbury, Connecticut. According to the history taken from Nurse Vickers, he was 28, employed by an industrial firm in New York, divorced, and a father of 3 children, all deceased. I can't go to a priest because I'm not a Catholic. I can't go to a lawyer because I haven't done anything to console a lawyer about. All I did was kill my kids, one at a time. Killed them all. Dr. Harper turned on the tape recorder. Billings laid straight as a yardstick on the couch, not giving it an inch of himself. His feet protruded stiffly over the end. Picture of a man enduring necessary humiliation. His hands were folded corpse-like on his chest. His face was carefully set, looked as a pale white comparison. He looked at a pale white composition ceiling as if seeing scenes and pictures playing out there. Do you mean you actually killed them, or... No! An impatient flick of the hand. But I was responsible. Danny in 1967. Shirley in 1971. And Andy this year. I want to tell you about it. Dr. Harper said nothing. He thought that Billings looked haggard and old. His hair was thinning, his complexion shallow. His eyes held all the miserable secrets of whiskey. They were murdered, you see, only no one believes that. If they would, things would be all right. Why is that? Because Billings broke off and darted up on his elbow, staring across the room. What's that? He barked. his eyes narrowing to black slots. What's what? That door! The closet, Dr. Harper said, where I hang my coat and leave my overshoes. Open it. I want to see. Dr. Harper got up wordlessly, crossed the room, and opened the closet. Inside, a tan raincoat hung on one of the 4 or 5 hangers. Beneath was a pair of shiny galoshes. The New York Times had been carefully tucked into one of them. That was all. All right, Dr. Harper said. All right. Billings removed the props of his elbows and returned to his previous position. You were saying, Dr. Harper said as he went back to his chair, that if the murder of your 3 children could be proven, all troubles would be over. Why is that? I'd go to jail, Billings said immediately. For life? You can see all the rooms in a jail. All the rooms. He smiled at nothing. How were your children murdered? Don't just jerk it out of me! Billings twitched around and stared balefully at Harper. I'll tell you, don't worry. I'm not one of those freaks stuttering around and pretending to be Napoleon or explaining that I got hooked on heroin because my mother didn't love me. I know you won't believe me. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Just to tell will be enough. All right. Dr. Harper got out his pipe. I married Rita in 1965. I was 21 and she was 18. She was pregnant. That was Danny. His lips twisted into a rubbery, frightening grin that was gone in a wink. I had to leave college. Got a job, but I didn't mind. I loved them both. We were happy. Rita got pregnant just a little while after Danny was born, and Shirley came along on December of 1966. Andy came into the summer of 1969, and Danny was already dead then. Andy was an accident. That's what Rita said. She said sometimes that birth control doesn't work. I think it was more than an accident. Children tie a man down, you know. Women like that. Especially when the man is brighter than they. Don't you find that true? Harper grunted uncommittedly. It doesn't matter, though. I loved him anyway. He said it almost vengefully, as if he had loved the child in spite of his wife. Oh yeah, sorry. Trigger warning. This guy is super sexist. Like misogynist, like trigger warning, misogyny incoming, and a lot of it. Who killed the children? Harper asked. The boogeyman. Lester Billing answered immediately. The boogeyman killed them all. Just came out of the closet and killed them. He twisted around and grinned. You think I'm crazy, all right. It's written all over you, but I don't care. All I want to do is tell you and then get lost. I'm listening, Harper said. You're collecting quotes? Hey, Avatar, how are you? Sorry, we're in the middle of a story. It started when Danny was almost 2, and Shirley was just an infant. He started crying when Rita put him into bed. We had a 2-bedroom place, see? Shirley slept in a crib in our room. At first, I thought he was crying because he didn't have a bottle to take to bed anymore. Rita said that wouldn't make it for an issue. Let it go, let him have it, and he'll drop it on his own. But that's the way that kids start off bad. You get permissive with them, spoil them, then they break your heart. Get some girl knocked up, you know, or start shooting dope, or they get to be sissies. Can you imagine waking up one morning and finding that your kid, your son, is a sissy? After a while, though, when he didn't stop, I started pulling him to bed myself. If you can't stop crying, I'd give him a whack. And then Rita would said that he was saying light over and over again. Well, I didn't know. Kids that little, how can you tell what they're saying? Only a mother can tell. I did say there was some questionable things in here, although you weren't there for that, Avatar, sorry. After a while, though... Oh, sorry. Rita wanted to put in a nightlight. One of those wall plug things with Mickey Mouse or Huckleberry Hound or something like that. I wouldn't let her. If the kid doesn't get over being afraid of the dark when he's little, he'll never get out of it. Anyway, he died this summer after Shirley was born. I put him to bed that night, and he started crying right away. I heard what he said that time. He pointed right at the closet when he said it. "Boogeyman," said the kid. "Boogeyman, Daddy." I turned off the light and went to bed and asked Rita why she was teaching the kid a word like that. I was tempted to slap her around a little, but I didn't. She said she never taught him to say that. I called her a goddamn liar. That was a bad summer for me, see? The only job I could get was loading Pepsi-Cola trucks in a warehouse, and I was tired all the time. Shirley would wake up and cry every night, and Rita would pick her up and sniffle. I tell you, sometimes I felt like throwing both of them out a window. Christ, kids drive you crazy sometimes. You could just kill them. Well, the kid woke me up at 3 a.m., right on schedule. I went to the bathroom, only a quarter awake, you know, and Rita asked if I could check on Dandy. I told her to do it herself and went back to bed. I was almost asleep when I heard her screaming. I got up and went. Kid was dead on his back. Just as white as flour except for the blood had sank. Back of the legs, the head, and at the buttocks. His eyes were open. That was the worst, you know. Wide open and glassy, like the eyes that you see on a moose head some guy put up on his mantle. Like pictures that you see of those got kids over in Nam. But an American kid shouldn't look like that, dead on his back, wearing a diaper and rubber pants because he's been wetting himself again over the last couple of weeks. Awful. I loved that kid. Billings shook his head slowly, then offered the rubbery frightening grin again. Rita was screaming her head off. She tried to pick Danny up and rock him, but I wouldn't let her. Cops don't like it when you touch the evidence. I know that. Did you know it was the boogeyman then? Harper asked quietly. Oh no, not then. But I did see one thing. It didn't mean anything to me then, but my mind stored it away. What was it? The closet was open. Not much, just a crack. But I knew that I had left it shut, see? That dry cleaning bag. There's dry cleaning bags in there. 3. A kid messing around with one of those, and bingo, asphyxiation. You know that? Yes. What happened then? Billings shrugged. We planted him. He looked morbidly at his hands, which had thrown dirt over 3 tiny coffins. Was there an inquiry? Sure. Billings' eyes flashed with a sardonious brilliance. So me backcountry fuckhead with a stethoscope and a black bag full of junior mints and sheepskin from some cow college? Crip death, he called it. Sorry, crip death, he called it. You ever heard of a pile of yellow manure? The kid was 3 years old. Crip death is very common around the first year, Harper said carefully. But that diagnosis had gone on death certifications for kids up to age 5. For want of a better... Bullshit! Billings spat violently. Harper relit his pipe. We moved Shirley to Danny's old room a month after the funeral. Rita fought it tooth and nail, but I had the last word. It hurt me, of course. Of course it did. Jesus, I loved that kid. I loved having that kid in with us. But you can't get overprotective. You make the kid cripple that way. When I was a kid, my mom used to take me to the to the beach. Sorry. My mom would take me to the beach and would scream herself hoarse. Don't go over there! Don't go over there! There could be an undertow! You've only eaten half an hour ago! Don't go over your head! Even to watch out for sharks before God. So what happened? I can't go near the water now. It's the truth. I get the cramps if I go near a beach. Rita got me to take her and the kids to Savin Rock once when Danny was alive. I got sick as a dog. I know, see? You can't overprotect kids. You can't coddle yourself either. Life goes on. Shirley went right into Danny's crib. We sent the old mattress to the dump, though. I don't want my girl getting any germs. So a year goes by, and one night while I'm putting Shirley to bed, she starts yowling and screaming and crying. Boogeyman, Daddy! Boogeyman, boogeyman! That threw a jump into me. It was just like Danny. And I start to remember about the closet door, open just a crack, when I found him. I wanted to take her to our room for the night. Did you? No. Billings regretted his hands and his face twitched. How could I go to Rita and admit I was wrong? I had to be strong. She was always such a jellyfish. Look how easy she went to bed with me when we weren't even married. Harper said, on the other hand, look how easily you went to bed with her. Billings froze in an act of rearranging his hands and slowly turned his head towards Harper. Are you trying to be a wise guy? No, indeed, Harper said. Then let me tell it my way, Billings snapped. I came here to get this off my chest, to tell my story, and not to talk about my sex life, if that's what you to expect. Rita and I had a normal sex life, none of that dirty stuff. I know some people get a charge at talking about it, but I'm not one of them. All right, Harper said. Okay. Billings echoed with an uneasy arrogance. He seemed to have lost the thread of his thought, and his eyes wandered uneasily to the closet, which was firmly shut. Would you like it that open? Sorry. Would you like that open? Harper said. No! Billings said quickly. He gave a nervous laugh. What would I want to look at your overshoes for? The boogeyman got her too, Billings said. He brushed his forehead as if sketching memories. A month later. But something happened before that. I heard a noise in there one night. And then she screamed and I opened the door real quick. The hallway light was on, and she was sitting in the crib crying, and something moved. Back in the shadows by the closet, something slithered. Was the closet door open? A little. Just a crack. Billings licked his lips. Shirley was screaming about the boogeyman, and something else that sounded like claws. Only she said craws. You know, little kids have trouble saying the L sound. Rita ran upstairs and asked what was the matter. I said that she got scared by a shadow of the branches moving on the ceiling. Closet? Harper said. Huh? Closet. Closet. Maybe she was trying to say closet. Maybe, Billings said. Maybe that's it. I don't think so. I think it was claws. His eyes began to seek the closet door again. Claws. Long claws. His voice had sank into a whisper. Did you look in the closet? Yes! Billings' hands were laced tightly around his chest. Laced tightly enough that you could see the white moon of every knuckle. Was there anything in there? Did you see the... I didn't see anything! Billings screamed suddenly. The words were pouring out as if Some black cork had been pulled out from the bottom of his soul. When she was dead, I found her, see? She was black. All black. She had swallowed her own tongue, and she was as black as a person at a minstrel show, and she was staring at me. Her eyes, they looked like those eyes that you see from stuffed animals, all shiny and awful, like living marbles. They were saying to me, Daddy, you let this happen to me. You killed me. You helped it kill me. His words trailed off. One single tear, very long and silent, ran down the side of his cheek. It was a brain convulsion, see? Kids get those sometimes. Bad signal from the brain. They had an autopsy at the Hartford Recovery, and they told us that she choked on her tongue from the convulsion. I had to go home alone because they kept Rita under sedation. She was out of her mind. I had to go back to that house all alone. I know a kid doesn't just have convulsions from their brain being fragged up. You can scare a kid into convulsions, and I had to go back to that house where it was. He whispered. I slept on the couch that night, with the lights on. Did anything happen? I had a dream, Billings said. I was in a dark room, and there was something I couldn't quite see. In the closet, it made a noise, a squishy noise. It reminded me of a comic book that I read when I was a kid. Tales of the Crypt. Do you remember that? Christ. They had a guy named Graham Ingalls. He could draw every god-awful thing in the world, and some out of it. Anyways, in the story, this woman drowned her husband, see? Put cinder blocks on his feet and dropped him in a quarry. Only he came back. He was all rotted and black-green, and the fish had eaten one of his eyes, and there was seaweed in his hair. He came back and killed her. Then I woke up in the middle of the night, and I thought that thing was leaning over me with claws. Long claws. Harper looked at the digital clock inset on his desk. Lester Billings had been speaking for nearly half an hour. He said, When your wife came home, what was her attitude towards you? She still loved me. She still loved me, Billings said with pride. She still wanted to do what I told her. That's the wife's place, right? This wife's lib only makes people sick. The most important thing in life is a person knows his place. His station in life. That's it. Billings snapped his fingers. That's it exactly. And a wife should follow her husband. Oh, she was sort of colorless for the first 4 or 5 months after. Dragged around the house, didn't sing, didn't watch TV, didn't laugh. I knew she'd get over it. When they're that little, you don't get so attached to them. After a while, you have to go to the bureau drawer and look at a picture to even remember exactly what they looked like. She wanted another baby, he added darkly. I told her it was a bad idea. Oh, not forever, but for a while. I told her that it was time for us to get over things and begin to enjoy each other. We never had a chance to do so before. If you wanted to go to a movie, you had to hustle around for a babysitter, and you couldn't go on the town to see the Mets unless her folks could take the kids, because my mom wouldn't have anything to do with us. Danny was born too soon after we got married, see? She wouldn't have even come to the wedding. Billings drummed his chest with his fingers. Rita's gynecologist sold her on this thing called an IUD. Foolproof, the doctor said. He could stick it up a woman's... her place, and that's it. If there's anything in there, the egg won't fertilize. You don't know it's there. He smiled at the ceiling with a dark sweetness. Nobody knows if it's there or not. And the next year she was pregnant again. Some foolproof. No birth control method is perfect, Harper said. The pill is only 98%. The IED may have been ejected by cramps, strong menstrual flow, or, in exceptional cases, by evacuation. Yeah? Or you can just take it out. That's possible. So what next? She's knitting little things, singing in the shower, and eating pickles like crazy. Sitting on my lap and saying things about how this must be God's will. Piss! The baby came at the end of the year after Shirley's death. After Shirley's death? That's right, a boy. She named him Andrew Lester Billings. I didn't want anything to do with it, at least at first. My motto was, she screwed up, let her take care of it. And I know how that sounds, but you have to remember that I've been through a lot. But I warmed up to him, you know? He was the only one of the litter that looked like me, for one thing. Danny looked like his mother. Shirley didn't look like anyone, except maybe my Granny Ann. But Andy was the spitting image of me. I'd get playing around with him and his pen when I got home from work. He'd grab my finger and smile and gurgle. 9 weeks old, and the kid was grinning at his old dad. You believe that? Then one night, here I come in out of a drugstore with a mobile to hang over the kid's crib. Me! The kid didn't appreciate presents until they're old enough to say thank you. That was always my motto. But there I was buying him silly crap, and all at once I realized I loved him all the most of all. I had another job by then, a pretty good one, selling drill bits at Kalutz and Sons. I did real well, and when Andy was 1, we moved to Waterbergy. The old place had too many bad memories. And too many closets. That next year was the best one for us. I'd give each one of the fingers on my right hand to have it again. Oh, the war at Nam was going on, and the hippies were running around with no clothes, and the people that I didn't like were yelling a lot. But none of them touched us. We were in a quiet street with nice neighbors. We were happy. He summed up simply. I asked Rita once if she wasn't worried. You know, bad luck comes in threes and all that. She said not to us. She said Andy was special. She said God had drawn a ring around him. Billings looked morbidly at the ceiling. Last year wasn't so good. Something about the house had changed. I started keeping my boots in the hall because I didn't like opening the closet door anymore. I kept thinking, well, what if it's in there? All crouched and ready to spring the second I opened the door? I started thinking that I'd hear squishing noises, as if something black and green and wet was moving around in there, just a little. Rita asked me if I was working too hard, and I started to snap at her, just like the old days. I got sick to my stomach leaving them alone to go to work, and I was glad to get out. God help me, I was glad to get out. I started to think, that it lost us for a while when we moved. It had to hunt around. Gosh dang it, sorry. There we go. It had to hunt around. Slinking through the streets at night, or maybe creep through the sewers, smelling for us. It took a year, but it found us. It's back. It wants Andy, and it wants me. I started to think, maybe if you think of a thing long enough and believe it, it gets real. Maybe all the monsters that we were scared of as kids, Frankenstein, Wolfman, and Mummy, maybe they were real. Real enough to kill the kids that were supposed to have fallen into gravel pits and drowned in lakes and were never found. Maybe. Are you backing away from something, Mr. Billings? Billings was silent for a long time. 2 minutes clicked by off the digital clock. Then he said abruptly, Andy died in February. Rita wasn't there. She got a call from her father. Her mother had been in a car crash on the day after New Year's and wasn't expected to live. She took a bus back that night. Her mother didn't die, but she was on critical list for a long time. 2 months. I had a very good woman who stayed with Andy days. We kept house nights. The closet doors kept coming open. Billings licked his lips. The kid was sleeping in the room with me. It's funny too. Rita asked me once when he was 2 if I wanted to move him to another room. Spock or some other quack claimed that it was bad for kids to sleep with their parents, see? Supposed to give them trauma about sex and all that. But we never did it unless the kid was asleep. I didn't want to move him. I was afraid after Danny and Shirley. But you did move him, didn't you? Dr. Harper asked. Yeah, Billings said. He smiled, a sick, yellow smile. I did. Silence again. Billings wrestled with it. I had to! He barked finally. I had to! It was all right when Rita was there, but when she was gone, it started to get bolder. It started... He rolled his eyes at Harper and bared his teeth in a savage grin. Oh, you don't believe me. I know what you think. Just another goofy for your casebook. I know that, but you weren't there. You lousy smug head peeper. One night, every door in the house blew wide open. One morning, I got up and found a trail of mud and filth across the hallway between the coat closet and the front door. Was it going out? Was it coming in? I didn't know. For Jesus, I didn't know. Recorded all scratched up and covered in slime, mirrors broken, and the sounds. The sounds. He ran a hand over his hair. You'd wake up at 3 a.m. and look into the dark, and at first you say, it's just the clock. But beneath it you could hear something moving in a stealthy way. But not too stealthy, because it wants you to hear it. A slimy sliding sound, like something in the kitchen drain. Or a clicking sound, like claws being dragged lightly against the staircase banister. And you'd close your eyes, knowing that hearing it is bad, but if you saw it. But always you'd be afraid that that noise must stop for a little while, and that there would be a laughter right above your face, and the breath of air like stale cabbage on your face, and then hands at your throat. Billings was pallid and trembling. So I moved him. I knew it would go for him, see? Because he was weaker, and it did. The very first night, he was screaming in the middle of the night, and suddenly, when I got up the cojones to go in, he was standing in his bed screaming, "The boogeyman, Daddy! Boogeyman! Wanna go with Daddy! Wanna go with Daddy!" Billings' voice had become high timbre, like a child's. His eyes seemed to fill his entire face. He almost seemed to shrink on the couch. But I couldn't. The childish tremble continued. I couldn't. An hour later there was a scream, an awful gargling scream. And I knew how much I loved him because I ran. I didn't even turn on the lights. I ran. Jesus, Mother, Jesus, God, Mary. It had him. It shook him, shaking him like a terrier shaking a piece of cloth, and I could see something with awful slumped shoulders and a scarecrow head, and I could smell something like a dead mouse in a pop bottle, and I heard... He trailed off. Then his voice clicked back into an adult range. I heard it when it broke Andy's neck. Billings' voice was cool and dead. It made a sound like ice cracking when you're skating on a country pond in winter. Then what happened? Oh, I ran, Billings said in the same cool, dead voice. I went to an all-night diner. How's that for complete cowardice? Ran to an all-night diner and drank 6 cups of coffee. Then I went home. It was already dawn. Called the police even before I went upstairs. He was lying on the floor and staring at me, accusing me. A tiny bit of blood ran down one ear. Only a drop, really. The closet door was open, but just a crack. The voice stopped. Harper looked at the digital clock. 50 minutes had passed. Make an appointment with the nurse, he said. In fact, several of them. Tuesdays and Thursdays. I only came here to tell my story, Billings said. To get it off my chest. I lied to the police, see? Told them that the kid must have tried to get out of his crib that night, and they swallowed it. Of course they did. That's just what it looked like. Accidental, like the others. But Rita knew. Rita, finally, knew. He covered his eyes and began to weep. Mr. Billings, there's a great deal to talk about, Dr. Harper said after a pause. I believe we can remove some of the guilt that you're carrying. But first, you have to want to get rid of them. Don't you believe I do? Sorry. Don't you believe I do? Billings cried, removing his arm from his eyes. They were red, raw, wounded. Not yet, Harper said quietly. Tuesdays and Thursdays. After a long pause, Billings muttered, Goddamn shrink. All right. Make an appointment with the nurse, Mr. Billings, and have a good day. Billings laughed emptily and walked out into the office quickly, without looking back. The nurse's station was empty. A small sign on the desk that read, Back in a minute. Billings turned and went back to the office. Doctor, your nurse is... The room was empty, but the closet door was open. Just a crack. So nice, a voice from the closet said. So nice. The words sounded as if they might have come through a mouthful of rotten seaweed. Billings stood rooted to the spot as the closet doors swung open. He dimly felt the warmth at his crotch as he wet himself. So nice, the boogeyman said as it shambled out, as it held its Dr. Harper mask in one rotten spade claw. And that is The Boogeyman by Stephen King. I think that is a fantastic story. What do you guys think? Did you like it? Did you have fun? Oh, nice. He wasn't crazy. Or was he crazy? I'm actually really happy with the way that turned out. I managed to not fumble too much. But yeah, I had to replace a couple things. There were a couple in there that I'm just like, I'll say it because it's context related, but still. But yeah, there you go. And Frozen Scarecrow, if you're still there, thank you very much for tossing this my way. It was very fun to read. I think it's even more fun because I Because I got to read it just, just quietly to myself. But then now, because I have the context, I can actually try to bring out some, like, characterness to it, which was very fun. Unfortunately, I couldn't really come up with, like, a great voice for Lester, but I don't think it was the worst voice. But still. But no, still, like, thank you for suggesting it. It was very, very fun to read. Pulled all the energy I had to make it happen, but I did it. And I hate to say it, but I think that's the only story that we're gonna get for tonight. What I will do instead is, there were 1 or 2 other stories that were recommended to me. What I think I might do is I will record them separately by myself to, and put them on YouTube. So if anybody's interested, you can go ahead and check there. No, not the big boss. I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I wish my closet doors had locks on them. Why, I don't have a closet. Can't get attacked by something if you don't have a closet. And yeah, I'm sorry, not the big boss. Work has kind of murdered me this week particularly. And, some decisions that they've made means that, how to say, means that I'm going to be doing more hours for the next couple of weeks until the job is done. So, unfortunately, I think I can only really do 2 hours a stream before I'm just completely depleted. So I do apologize that I have to tap right as you get here. But I will be putting the reading on YouTube ASAP. I'll probably try to get it done tomorrow and try to post it by Monday. No closets means the monsters are under your bed, but sometimes the monsters under your bed are nice. You know? Sometimes you get the... Oh my god, I have to find that frickin'... Hold on. Where is the one? There it is. Sometimes you have moments like that, you know? I love that comic so much. There's another one that I'm trying to find. Where is it? Hold on, apologies for being a little bit absent. I know it's here somewhere. It's not the one I'm looking for, dang it. Sorry for missing out on some chat messages. Sometimes you just need a hand to hold. Boom. Monster under bed is a good option. See? Pom Pom gets it. There's one. A person's dog is licking hand off the side of their bed. And when they feel the licking but knew the dog was on the other side of the bed. Yes! Yes! Scary stories! I don't want to share that one. I can't seem to find the other one I'm looking for. Oh, there's the other one. I found it. There we go. My, leaving your foot out of your blanket. Bad idea, human. You're gonna regret it if you don't keep your feet warm. Sorry, I love moments like that. They're so fantastic. One night, wrestle my house. And I smelt a fart that wasn't mine. Ooh. Spooky. That's the scariest of all. Because you know what your farts smell like. Because you have to deal with you. But what happens when the fart isn't yours? The big question is, though, like, is the thing that farted, was it a scare fart? You know, where they were just like, oh, poot. Like, is it one of those, like, don't be afraid of spiders. They're more scared of you than you are of them. You know, like, don't be afraid of the one that farted. They farted because they're scared of you. Okay, but sometimes it's the middle of summer. Sometimes you gotta leave your piggies out the blanket, right? Though I tend to do the leave, like, a portion of your leg out, you know, like leave your knee out. And, like, only leave the blankets until, like, your hip so that your torso is out, is not covered. You know, like that kind of stuff it can help fight. Can help fight the heat a little bit. But those are actually solid points, Avatar. Ugh, excuse me. Ugh. The fatigue, it comes. So you know what? We're gonna do something nice. Apologies that I'm starting to drift a little bit. So, we are going to raid Erewhon. Because she is lovely and deserves more attention. If you can and are able to, I would love for you to join me on this little raid to go say hello to Erewhon. Ooh, that's a spicy, scary story right there. But if you are subscribed, I would appreciate it if you could use the top raid message. If you are not subscribed, please use the bottom raid message. We are going to go ahead and say hello to Erewhon. So I will say my farewells now because I can feel myself plummeting right now. So thank you guys very much for sticking around. Whether you were chatting, whether you were lurking, whether you were just in and out for just a moment. Again, I'm sorry, Big Boss. Know that you are very appreciated. I hope that you are having a great day, afternoon, evening, or night, whatever time it might happen to be for you. I hope that you are taking care of yourselves. I hope that you are drinking plenty of water. And when you finally sleep, whatever time that might happen to be for you, I hope that you have a very restful sleep. I hope you guys have a great Halloween. Kaju, I believe, is streaming on Halloween, so if you can, give him a view. I will see you guys next time, and I hope that you guys have a great night. So long.